Last time, Jaco accidentally gave Goku the win at the tournament, thanks to the boy's tail growing back, and him trying to cut it off, leading to Jackie-chan being disqualified. After that, Jaco left, but not before giving Goku a radio and telling him to call if his tail ever grew back again. While Jaco himself won't appear personally in this part, his presence still has an effect, largely due to the Pilaf gang still being in possession of the Galactic Patrolman's weapon. Goku's side of things doesn't change too much for now since he's off getting engaged to Chi-Chi by accident. The first change is when he boards Pilaf's flying fortress to try and retrieve the Dragon Ball. Pilaf and the gang parachute out of the fortress to avoid the young Saiyan before being surrounded by Colonel Silver and his men. "You three certainly gave us quite the runaround, but it's over now. Hand it over." While Pilaf himself is ready to surrender, Mai pulls Jaco's blaster and fires at Colonel Silver, actually killing him. But one weapon doesn't mean they can beat the rest of Silver's men, and the Pilaf gang are quickly overwhelmed and captured. The men decide to radio headquarters explaining what happened to Silver and that the prisoners had a powerful weapon that was like nothing they'd ever seen. Since Muscle Tower is the closest to their position, they're instructed to bring the prisoners there. Since Colonel Silver is now dead, he doesn't shoot down Goku's Nimbus and doesn't get embarrassed by the kid, so Goku can get the Dragon Ball from the jungle with little trouble and then head straight to the location of the next Dragon Ball instead of having to steal a plane. The Pilaf gang had been disarmed of course, save for Pilaf who'd managed to hide a knife he had with him, but they aren't the type to give up without a fight, so when they arrive at Muscle Tower, Mai intentionally falls to her knees as if she had slipped in the snow. When one of the soldiers attempts to help her up, she would headbutt the man as hard as she could while Shu made a grab for his keys. Pilaf himself attempted to retrieve what had been confiscated from them before being kicked off the vehicle by a man with white hair, though Pilaf had managed to grab one back. Pilaf was sent back flying into the snow before looking up at his attacker, before turning and running in the other direction. A few of the other soldiers took a few shots at him, but they all missed. "Let him go," General White commanded as he stepped off the vehicle. "You're wasting ammo. That stuff isn't free. He won't last long in that snow anyway. He'll freeze to death. Get these two inside. The old man is coming to take a look at that gun you think is so special." Why did they give General White a Russian accent in the dub anyway? What's that about? And how come his hair is white instead of brown in the anime? Because in the manga he's got brown hair. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Pilaf runs for a while before collapsing in the snow, and this time Suno saves him instead of Goku, since Goku doesn't need saving. Since Suno and her mother know about the Red Ribbon Army, they help him to get his handcuffs off after he explains the situation he's in. Goku still does visit Jingle Village, but that's just because he's cold and just as gi, so he was looking for somewhere he could find something warmer. And they'd tried to shoot him over at Muscle Tower, so he couldn't go there. He would arrive just as Pilaf was trying to recover in Suno's house, deciding to knock on the door because, well, he was hungry and he smelled soup. Since Suno's mother wasn't about to leave a child out in the snow, she lets Goku in as well, although it doesn't go smoothly when Pilaf and Goku meet each other. Suno and her mother fill Goku in on everything about Muscle Tower, but this time the Red Ribbon aren't prepared for him. Since they've barely interacted with him, they don't really know who he is. Goku still does decide to head for the tower, but Pilaf insists on going with him. "They're holding Mai and Shu as well. I have to help those two." "I don't really need your help, but I'll get him for you, okay?" Pilaf considered his offer, but decided against it. After all, he couldn't have Mai and Shu thinking he wasn't going to try and help them himself. They wouldn't be loyal to a leader who wasn't loyal to them. Reluctantly, Goku agreed to go with Pilaf before running off towards the tower, and then running back because he was cold.
"Hey, I can't run that fast,"
Pilaf complained, insisting that Goku carries him. After a quick change of clothes, Goku did carry him because he wasn't that heavy. Pilaf could barely hold on, but halfway there Goku stopped again because he was hungry.
"You're hungry again? Suno's mother just fed you."
"Soup isn't very filling, and I had to carry you." Pilaf would sigh before giving Goku some food from his own bag, canned food mostly, enough to last him, Shu and Mai a few weeks. He watched in horror as Goku ate it all in under 20 minutes. At Muscle Tower, a younger but still quite old Dr. Giro, head scientist of the Red Ribbon Army, was inspecting the weapon the soldiers had taken off the people who'd taken out Silver. "Well, it's not human technology, I can say that for certain. We have rudimentary lasers, but something like this is far too refined." He would turn his attention to Mai and Shu. "How did you acquire this weapon? I advise you to tell me before I test it out on one of you." "We don't know how it works," Shu stammered. "That alien left it behind when his spaceship destroyed our castle." Jiro's interest was piqued by that. An alien spaceship. What did this alien look like? Short, mostly purple skin with a blue face and yellow eyes. He called himself, Shu couldn't quite remember. Galactic Patrolman, but I don't know what that means. Dr. Gero believed them. These two were clearly idiots, not smart enough to fool him. They'd stumbled across this by dumb luck, but he could make good use out of it. And he'd just need time to study it, and figure out how it works. The Galactic Patrol was an interesting note to him though. There was some sort of galactic authority monitoring the Earth. He wondered what it would take for them to step in. Dr. Gero would take his leaving Muscle Tower, his car passing the young Goku on the road away from the base. But he didn't think much of the young boy. The Red Ribbon didn't know who he was yet, and as far as he was concerned, if a child was going to attack Muscle Tower, he'd be dead before long. Goku and Pilaf, mostly Goku, easily blow through Muscle Tower's first defenses, standard Red Ribbon grunts and whatnot, before coming face to face with Major Metallotron, who is the first person to give Goku trouble. In fact, a lot of trouble. Pilaf for a moment thought about trying to switch sides, but the robotic behemoth's batteries ultimately failed, giving Goku the win. Next up is Murasaki, who Goku embarrasses without much trouble, even when the ninja attempts to take Pilaf hostage.
Walk away if you want him to continue breathing.
No, that's okay. It's not like he's my friend or anything.
How dare you!
Pilaf complained before stabbing Murasaki in the hand with his switchblade, forcing him to let go. Before long, Murasaki resorts to using Android 8, who ignores him. Even when Murasaki threatens to blow him up, 8 won't fight. Thankfully, Goku destroys the remote and punches Murasaki square in the face. Good job, Pilaf. It's my first time trying to bluff like Launch taught me. For the record, it was Blonde Launch that taught him that.
How could you? You're dead to me!
Goku, Pilaf, and 8 are ready to continue to the top of Muscle Tower, but a trapdoor opens and they fall down to a dark room containing the monster Bouillon, who Goku cannot seem to damage at all. Everything bounces right off him. The monster eats Pilaf before starting to choke. That meal hadn't gone down too easily. Pilaf was holding onto his switchblade for dear life, which he had stabbed into the monster's throat. One of Goku's attacks would bounce off the monster and crack the wall, letting in the snow and freezing it so it could actually be damaged. And once his damage negating ability was gone, Bouillon went down pretty easily. Pilaf crawled out from the monster's frozen remains covered in spit, looking very unhappy.
Not one word!
The last order of business is General White, who has the Mayor, Mai, and Shu as hostages. Goku has no tail, so White can't grab it like in the original, meaning this is a very one-sided fight until White takes a hostage, threatening to shoot Mai. He would find, however, that he should have gone for an easier target, like the Mayor, as Mai would headbutt General White, breaking his nose, before turning around and kicking him between the legs. One last punch from Goku leaves General White unconscious, meaning they'd successfully rescued the Mayor, Mai, and Shu. I knew you'd come for us, sire! Shu exclaimed. Pilaf didn't think to mention that Goku had done most of the work.
Listen, you two. This kid is looking for the Dragon Balls as well. These Red Ribbon Army guys are no joke. The way I see it, we stick with Goku and then swipe the wish from him when he tries to make it.
Pilaf would speak quietly so Goku wouldn't hear them on their way back to Jingle Village.
Listen up, Goku. As payment for helping me save Shu and Mai, we will accompany you on your search for the Dragon Balls.
Again, Goku didn't really think he needed their help, but if they felt like they owed him, he wouldn't say no. And they'd already stolen a plane from Muscle Tower so they could accompany him. And that's where we'll leave things for now. What are your thoughts on the Pilaf gang being more involved in the Red Ribbon saga? What plans does Gero have for that blaster? Find out next time. Make sure to comment if you want, I always like reading them, and let me know if you have any what-if suggestions. If you like stuff like this, maybe consider subscribing. If you want, you don't have to. Anyway, bye.